Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I'll show you the game played by Viktoria and Felix, and the game starts with pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, knight f6, and now the d takes c5, and here you have queen to a5 and check the king, and also the queen is attacking the pawn at the same time. Then knight to c3, develop the knight, and now the knight is being pinned, and therefore the knight capture the pawn and attack the knight. Knight takes e4, and here is the first 5 move, and in this position the white has an edge. Then the game to continue, the pawn c takes d6, and now the knight takes c3, take the knight, and here the pawn takes the knight. Then the knight developed by playing knight c6. If you capture with the queen, for example, queen takes c3, then we can just push the bishop and attack the queen. And after this, the queen need to move away to a safe place. For example, queen to c6, and after this position, even though white capture the pawn, the white will be slightly better and have more activity for the pieces. So therefore, the black do not capture the pawn. Instead, the black develop the knight to c6. Then the game continue, bishop to d3 to keep on develop and preparing for a short castle. Then e takes d6, and after this, castling for the white, and now the black develop the bishop to e7, and after this, the rook to b1, and here the white giving up another pawn, and if you capture the pawn, queen takes a2, then the white will just keep on develop and attack. For example, bishop to g5 and attack the bishop, and the rook is protected by the queen. So queen to g5, and if the queen exchange, then the knight will just capture the bishop, and here you have a bishop attacking the pawn and preparing the queen to f3 and attack the pawn at f7. So after rook b1, if you capture a pawn at c3, queen takes c3, then the rook will just go to rook b5, and after this, if you make a attack the pawn a6, then you can just have a bishop to b2 and trap the queen, and the rook to b5 is to control the square for the queen to move. So therefore, after this, the queen to b2, and now you can see that the queen is trapped and there is no place for the queen to move. So after rook b1, give me out a free pawn, either the a2 and the c3 pawn, and will be better for the white. Then d5 was played, and after this, white keep on develop and play the rook to e1 and pinning the bishop. And here the strongly threatening with the knight to d4, and also you can attack the knight and also have the idea to f5 and attack the bishop. So after this, the black castling, and again if you capture the pawn at a2, the knight will just play knight to d4, and here if you after castling, then the rook will go to b2 and attack the queen. And now the queen is also have a very difficult to move the queen to a safe place. For example, if the queen move to a5, then the knight will just capture the knight and win the free bishop. Okay, this is called the removing of the guard and capture the bishop. So after the castling, the white play rook to b5, attacking the queen and also attacking the pawn. And now the queen capture the a2 pawn, and after this the rook capture the d5 pawn. Then g6 was played, and now the rook to b5 again, and now the bishop go to f6. The reason the rook go to b5 is to attack the pawn, and now the bishop cannot be moved. If the queen move to pin the knight, then the rook will just capture the pawn at b7. So after this, bishop to f6, preparing to capture the pawn at c3. And now bishop to h6, attacking the rook, and now the rook to d8, pinning the queen, and now the bishop cannot be moved. If you move, you capture the queen. So queen to e2 to prevent the pin, and after this the queen go to e6, preparing to exchange in this position. So after this, the queen to f1, and then with this the white do not want to go for the trade. Instead they use the rook to attack the queen, and now the queen need to move queen to a safe place. The queen move to queen d7, and after this bishop c4 was played, and here to attack the pawn, and here white has the initiative. We have many activity to attack, and after this the black play a6 to attack the rook. And after this move, this is one of the not so good move, as after this move was played, the white is winning material, or highly clearly winning in this position. So the next move from the white will determine the white game in winning. And in this position, I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the white can move and win in this game. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the brilliant moves that the white play. The white play rook to d5 and attack the queen, and after this the another rook is attacking the e file. So after this position, basically the queen have not much space to move. The only place for the queen to save is c7, and because the diagonal square will be quite weak for the black. So after this, the white play rook to d5 attack the queen, and if you see the queen is a red color, and all this red color is a bad move, and in the actual game the black play queen to c7, and with this the white continue to execute the plan of attack. In this game, the rook capture the rook takes d8 and check the king, and the bishop is prevent the king to go to g7, and after this there is no pieces that can prevent the check, therefore the queen need to capture the rook. And after capture the rook, here another beautiful sacrifice that the white play. Bishop takes f7 and check the king. And after this position, the black resign the game. And if the game to continue, and example, if the king move away to a safe place, king h8, then the rook will just go to rook e8 and check the king and winning the queen. Queen the rook to e8 and check the king. After queen capture, then the bishop will capture the queen, and here white is clearly winning with the extra piece. Back to the position the bishop sacrifice, and if the king to capture the bishop, king takes f7, and here you have a mate in 3. The queen will go to c4 and check the king, and here this resembles the ideal of checkmate, typical like a Boden mat, and this is really a beautiful superb Boden checkmate, because after queen to c4 the king has no place to move. Therefore, the only way to prevent the check is to block with a bishop. And after block with the bishop, then the queen will just capture the bishop, and there will be the checkmate. And with this, thank you.